Councilman Spinoza.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Personnel Committee met this morning regarding item number 36, and we chose to send it downstairs so the full council can discuss, and I so move.
It's been moved by Councilman Spinoza, seconded by Councilman Hedgepeth. I don't see any. Oh, I do see two council members in the queue. Councilman Morrison.
Mr. Chairman, just so we're on the record, this director would be as amended at $145,000.
Thank you, Councilman Morrison. Councilman Vice Chairman Ford.
Thank you very much. Not to emulate what Mr. Brown did with the other, and if it passes, it passes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I've already put information out there on what particular cities have done in order to make sure that their public safety heads are compensated. I know in the document that the mayor and his group have given, say that the interim police director is making $150,000. So I'm just going to ask for a motion to amend the 145 to 150, going up 5,000.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Ford, second by Councilman Boyd. Without objection, is there any? Okay, it's been objected by Councilman Morrison. You might want to comment on. All right, call special item number 2. Councilman Boyd. No, it was moved by Councilman Ford. It was seconded by Councilman Boyd. It was objected to by Councilman Morrison. So we'll go to a vote on special item 2. A yes vote would increase this salary another $5,000. A no vote would be as amended by Mayor Strickland to $145,000. Councilman Jones.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think that in a number of our positions, we may not be at what market rates are, but I'm not for just shooting by the hip, and if we see one, we increase this one, we don't increase it. I would rather we have a comprehensive compensation study, if there's one already prepared, and we use that as a guide as opposed to raising some salaries versus the others. So I would encourage my colleagues, before we do that, we can, even if it's by the next meeting, if we have additional information presented to us at that time, we can vote on it. Is there anything prohibiting us from voting on it at that particular time? But before we just randomly select and choose which positions we should increase the salary for, I would like to see, and if the maker of the motion has that information now, fine, but I would just like to see it more so done on a comprehensive basis versus picking one here and one there in order to increase those salaries.
Okay. Is that all, Councilman?
That's it, yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Councilwoman Swearingen.
Yes, with that being said, I did research some salaries of the surrounding cities. Nashville's fire director makes $126,000. St. Louis, $127,000. Knoxville, $123,000. Louisville, $135,000. So I think our salary that we have at present is comparable.
Thank you very much, Councilwoman Swearingen. The queue screen is down. Is there anybody else in the queue? Anybody? All right, seeing no other council member. Okay, Councilman Jones.
Other one, but if you recognize it first.
Hold on, Councilman Fullov, is that?
I'm sorry, I'm just getting confused. What are we voting on?
Well, hold on. We're voting on an amendment for the nominee for Director of Fire Services to increase her salary from $145,000 to $150,000. Mayor Strickland said earlier he'd taken your recommendation and bumped it to $145,000. Now a motion has been made from the floor to take it up another 5,000. All right, seeing no other council members wishing to address this item, or did you want to say something, Councilman Jones?
Yes, and would it be proper to address the mayor at this particular point?
And not while we're on, since we're on a motion.
Okay.
Okay. Please cast your vote. A yes vote is for increasing this from 145 to 150,000. A no vote keeps it at 145, which is the mayor's recommendation.
Boyd, yes. Brown, yes. Colvette, no. Ford, yes. Fully Love, no. Hedgepeth abstained. Jones, no. Morgan, no. Morrison, no. Robinson, no. Spinoza, abstained. Swearingen, no. Chairman Conrad, no.
That item fails. We're back to the main motion. Well, I think Councilman, did you? Okay, you're in the queue. Yep. Councilman Jones, if you want to address a question to to the mayor, it's a good time to do it.
Well, it'll be first is addressing the salary here, and then my question will be, I'll direct my other question to the mayor. So, based upon information that was presented by Councilwoman Swearingen, would it be proper for us to make? Well, I would like to make a motion that we go back to the original recommendation that was presented to us until we do have a more comprehensive salary comparison or something to compare it to, because she's indicated that some of our peer cities where those individuals have the same responsibilities, this would approximately be $20,000 higher than, or about $17,000 higher than some of our peer cities would be. So my motion would be that that for the Director of Fire Services, that amount would remain at $128,520.
Okay, is there a second? Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Jones, seconded by Councilwoman Robinson. Anybody want to speak on this item? Please set up special item 3. Oh, did you want to?
If I may,
Mr. Mayor.
this is the motion to reduce it back to the current salary. A market study has been done. Y'all were given a 2-page sheet that looks like this. In fact, somebody asked me about this earlier. And it's stated that the market average was 149. I think the cities that were that Councilwoman Swearingen was talking about have a much smaller workforce than ours. So I'd ask you to keep it at the 145.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor Strickland.
Then my second question, during your initial presentation, Mr. Mayor, you indicated that police services, engineering, and perhaps parks were not listed here. Though I guess it was a few days before Christmas when we met, you indicated, or you originally presented some information to us that you were going to recommend an increase for the Director of Police Services. Is that still something? So, is that still something that you're looking to do? Would that have to come before the council? And even though that's an interim basis, between now and when you hire a permanent person, are we to assume that the current police director will remain at his current salary?
It's my understanding that I can raise that on a temporary basis to 150, and at some future meeting, maybe in 2 weeks, I'm going to come to you with some budget amendments that change things around.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Jones. Okay, please set up. Do you want to keep your resolution? Or your motion? Yes. Okay. Please set up special item 3. A yes vote, just to clarify, would go from 140 to 145 to 128,520. A no vote would keep it at 145, which is the mayor's recommendation. Please cast your vote, council members.